And I feel like it would be terrible of me to keep giving you all these tips to glow up, but we're not talking about the most important thing, and that is money. So let's get a little uncomfortable and talk about money, because you cannot glow up without being financially literate. It's 2024, and if you're still living paycheck to paycheck, it's really scary. So let me give you 5 tips to help you become financially stable. Hey girl, welcome back to your weekly dose of glow up tips. We're talking about money. Money. My favorite topic in the whole world. I know a lot of us did not grow up talking about money. A lot of times it's like a taboo. Like it's just not something you bring up. But sis, there is no glowing up while still living paycheck to paycheck. This is the most important conversation. So this is the conversation that needs to be had. I've come so far when it comes to becoming a better version of myself. I never thought my whole life that I would be making a video teaching someone else how to become financially stable and how to stop living paycheck to paycheck. Because I lived paycheck to paycheck for so many years, and that was just the norm. You know, like growing up, our parents didn't know about money. Nobody knew about money around us. It was just, you go to work, you work for someone, they pay you, and you use that check. So, you know, the cycle of constantly living paycheck to paycheck and depending on the next check to, you know, do whatever you want to do after that. So, you know, my cousin would be proud if she's watching this video, because we would have like $20 in our bank account and we'll go and spend it on food and just hope and pray that God, you know, sends money in some way, somehow. Fortunately for me, you know, I have an amazing man that is so focused on financial freedom and learning about money and investing and saving and whatnot. So he has been able to guide me through, you know, to end the paycheck to paycheck cycle and how to invest and all that good stuff. You know, for the longest, I hated talking about it. Don't ask me how much I'm getting paid. Don't ask me what, you know, my savings are. Don't ask me those questions because I don't know. Like, that's just not something you learn, and you definitely don't learn that in school. Why do you think? The life that I want, the life that I'm asking God for, I have to go and educate myself. And a lot of times, that's all it takes. You just got to go and learn. But a lot of us don't want to do that. A lot of us don't want to go into that because it's uncomfortable. Realizing that, hey, I don't have the funds. I'm broke. I don't have the money for this. I can't do this. It's a little sad, you know? So a lot of us don't even want to dive into that. And I feel like it would be terrible of me to keep giving you all these tips to glow up, but we're not talking about the most important thing, and that is money. So let's get a little uncomfortable and talk about money, because you cannot glow up without being financially literate. When I finally decided that I no longer wanted to live paycheck to paycheck, I no longer wanted to be in survival mode, I started reading a lot. I started reading a lot of books. I started reading a lot of books. I'm still reading a lot of books. I watch a lot of videos. I ask a lot of questions. Fortunately, again, I have a man that, you know, I can go to and ask these questions. And if he doesn't know, you know, we'll learn together. And if he does know, he'll guide me. So I started reading a lot of books. One of the first books that I started reading was Rich Dad, Poor Dad, just to understand how this whole money thing works and how to, you know, escape the rat race from living paycheck to paycheck. And then my favorite book of all time that I've read is The Richest Man of Babylon. I love that book. That taught me so much about, you know, when you start working for money, start putting some away for yourself and paying yourself first and all of that good stuff. So the very first thing that I had to start implementing in my life that changed the game for me, it's really hard, but it's necessary. And sis, if you really want to glow up, I hope and I pray that you don't just, you know, listen to this and it goes from one ear to the other. I hope that you actually implement this. Step 1 to ending paycheck to paycheck, to being financially stable and actually living your life, is to start budgeting. So many of us don't even know where our money is going every day. You don't even know how much you're spending, and you don't even know how much is coming in. So the very first thing that I need you to do is I need you to grab a pen and a paper, and I need you to write this down. Think about all the jobs that you have, or if it's just one job, whatever it is, how much do you have coming in? How much are you bringing in every month? Write that down. And then the next step is write down and track your expenses. How much are you spending every month? This is the app that I use for this. It's called, I think it's literally called It's called Buddy. So I'll put that down in the description below. It tracks how much I have coming in every month. And then it has pretty much all of my expenses out. So every time I spend money on rent, it just takes it out. Every time I spend money on my car insurance, it's taken out automatically. So that way I don't have to, constantly go in and write it down. This app just tracks every time I spend, and I will just be like, okay, yeah, this was for like home supplies. Okay, this was for groceries. So first thing first, how much do you have coming in? And where is your money going? You have to be so mindful of where every penny is going. That's how the successful people are doing it. That's how the rich people are doing it. They know where their money is going. And I know you probably think, oh, these people are probably just like spending because they have their money. No, that's how you keep your money. You know where your money is going, and you're a mindful spender. That's how you keep your money. So the very first step I need you to start doing right now is to start budgeting. Every time you swipe your card, every time you use cash, whatever it is, every time you spend money, that is an expense. Where is that going? What are you spending it on? And then write it down. Just keep track of how much you have coming in and how much you're spending monthly. That way, you know where your money is going, and now you can start spending money mindfully. Savings. The holy grail. Savings. That will get you so far in life. That will get you out of survival mode. I heard I was watching this video, and they said that majority of Americans don't even have like $400 of an emergency. And that is really scary. So you're just out here living it up. You're traveling, you're doing this, you're doing that, and you don't even have $400 in your account. Sis, I hope you understand that, I want the best for you. So I really gotta grill you on this. It's so tacky and irresponsible in 2024 to be an adult, and you can't even come up with $400 for an emergency. So let's get real. Every time you get paid, because now you're budgeting, right? So you know how much you have coming in every month. And you know where your money is going. So this is great. Every time you get paid, you got to pay yourself first. Every time you get paid, you have to put money aside for emergencies and future goals, because you never know what could happen. Having a savings account will prevent you from dealing with things that you don't want to deal with. Whether it's being in a toxic situation with a partner, whether it's, at a terrible job that you don't like, whatever it may be. When you have funds on the side, you're comfortable with leaving situations that no longer serves you because you have some kind of foundation. They say that you're supposed to put about 20% of your income away, but it all depends on how much you have coming in. So I don't put 20% away. I put what works for me. So figure out what works for you, but every time you get paid, and don't spend money first. Don't pay your bills first. Don't, do all these extra things first, and then whatever is left is what you put away. No, intentionally take a certain amount out every time you get paid and put that away, and just like erase it from your mind. It's not yours. Just put it away. It's not yours. It's for an emergency. Like, not just like, oh, I have to travel kind of emergency, like a life or death kind of emergency. Like your car just gave up, like you have no money for rent kind of emergency, whatever it may be. You put that aside and you clear that out of your mind. But I need you, every time you get paid, put money away if you want to stop living paycheck to paycheck. Because once you have that money now, if something was to happen, you don't need to wait for the next check to do what you need to do. Like it kills me to think like, what? Wait for a check to do what I need to do? No, I'm gonna do what I need to do regardless. I don't need the next check. I'm glad that the next check is coming. Whenever that check comes, it comes. But I got enough money to take care of myself for a year if I needed to. That's the ultimate glow up. That's when you can say I'm glowing up. That's when you can say I'm becoming a better version of myself. Having multiple sources of income, it's so dangerous. It's so dangerous to depend on just one source of income. It's so dangerous because that puts you in such a toxic situation sometimes. I would highly recommend that you increase your income by, working towards multiple sources of income. So think about something that you're passionate about. Something that you love to do, whether it's doing hair, whether it's doing lashes, whether it's making YouTube videos, whatever it is that you like to do, whatever it is that you're passionate about, get out of your head and stop, thinking, oh, maybe it won't work or I'm not good enough. Get out of your head. People are doing this every single day. Find a skill that you're really good at and pursue that. But you need to start having multiple source of income. You can't keep depending on one person to pay you to take care of all your bills and all your responsibilities. You can't keep having your eggs in one basket. It's such a dangerous thing to do. And I myself, I'm currently working on that, to where it's just like, yeah, I don't want, to just depend solely on this person to be able to take care of me. It's such a scary feeling, because there's so many people out there now they're losing their jobs. You can wake up today and you don't have a job. It happens every single day. The successful people that you see, they all have multiple sources of income. You can't keep having your eggs in one basket. And by the way, if you find these videos helpful, if you think this is something that could help somebody else, definitely go ahead and share, like, comment, subscribe to the channel. I am going to keep posting once a week, giving you your weekly dose of glow up tips, and I'm going to keep helping. The goal is to become the best version of ourselves, and anything that I've learned, any way that I can help, I'm definitely going to keep doing that every single week. And of course, I myself, I'm still on this journey. I'm still trying to become financially free. So if there's any tips that I haven't mentioned in this video that you would want to share with us ladies to help us as we continue to financially glow up, please go ahead and put that please go ahead and put those tips down below. Okay, so let's get back into it. So the next step would be reducing your expenses. There's so many of us, I do it too, but the best part is once you start budgeting, you realize where your money is going, and you're more mindful. So reducing expenses. There's a lot of subscriptions that you might be paying for that you don't need to keep paying for. Right now, while you're watching this video, you can put it on pause and you can check to see all the things that you're subscribed to. Is it necessary? Do you absolutely need that? Is it really contributing to your growth? If it's not, then let go of it. Unsubscribe, because you don't need to keep paying for it. Are you actually going to that gym that you have gym membership for? I have so many friends that have gym memberships, but they never go to the gym. You're wasting money. And now that we're actually trying to glow up financially, guys, my throat is on fire. Sorry if I sound a little weird, but are you actually needing all of those things that you're paying for monthly? Because when you start reducing your expenses, you realize that you have more money. That money can go towards your savings. That money can go to things that you actually need. I don't even care if it's $1. If it doesn't contribute, like if it's not helping me, I'm gonna, hey, please, I need my $1 back. You have to be a little, you have to be more mindful now where your money is going. So definitely reducing your expenses, things that you're paying for, eating out. You don't need to be eating out every single day. I'm saying it, I'm working on it myself. If you don't need it, don't spend money on it. Reduce your expenses, because when you reduce your expenses, you have more money. And while we're talking about reducing your expenses, the next thing is reducing debt, or not getting into debt at all. Debt is literally like the modern day slavery, because once you owe someone, they own you. And how are you possibly going to glow up and become the best version of yourself when someone owns you? So you're constantly working because you have to pay that person back. So if you can, stop spending money you don't have on things you can't afford. And if you do have debt, because majority of us do, so pay off all your high interest debt as soon as possible and get that out of the way. Because when you're living a life where you don't owe anyone, you're living a free life. You're living a good life. And your checks that's coming in, your money is your money. You can do with it as you please. So do me a favor and don't get yourself into debt. If you don't have the money to buy it, then you don't have the money. Because realistically speaking, you don't even have that money to give it back to someone else. So avoid it as much as you can. If you can't pay it in full, you don't have the money. So once I started budgeting and being mindful, it was actually just yesterday, I was going over my budget and I was trying to see how much I've used for the month, and I have $175 for my eating out budget, and I've passed it. And I was so upset. I would have gone out to eat yesterday. I would have bought food for lunch yesterday if I didn't do my budget right then and there. And then that just reminded me, like I just got this sour taste in my mouth, and I'm just like, I'm not even like, I just went to the fridge and I made something, because once you start budgeting, you realize that you have food at home. And you know, it's a real thing. And then you're just like, yeah, whatever, like, because you know you're working towards something bigger. Having that freedom to where you can choose to go into work today or you can choose not to go into work today, it really won't affect you. Either way, you're good. That is such an amazing feeling. I am no longer in survival mode because I have money put away. And that's what I want for you guys. That's what I want, to live your soft life. You can't be living paycheck to paycheck. There's no such thing. Majority of these people that you see, I'm living my soft life, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I hope and pray that they're financially stable. Even if they're flexing on the gram and making it seem like it's something that it may not be. Don't worry about that, sis. Rich people, successful people don't have to flex in front of anyone. Focus on your finance. Focus on getting yourself financially free. Focus on ending the paycheck to paycheck cycle. Focus on glowing up in that way, because once you do, everything else comes easy. I really, really hope that this video helped you. I really hope that you wrote down these tips or you screenshot this and you start working towards it. I recommend 2 books to you, Rich Dad, Poor Dad and The Richest Man of Babylon. Those 2 books has changed my life. And the app that I use to budget is called Buddy. Now, I'll also put that down below. I really hope, sis, that months from now, you're better off than you are now. Take this. Do with it as you please, you know, whether it's budgeting, whether it's savings, whether it's investing, whether it's reducing your expenses or increasing your income or getting out of debt. I promise you though, if you implement all of those things and you're mindful of where your money is going, you will no longer need to ever again live paycheck to paycheck. It was just like a few years ago that I stopped living paycheck to paycheck. And now what I'm working towards is multiple source of income. So, you know, as I keep learning, as I keep researching, as I keep asking questions and watching videos and taking courses, once I get to that point in my life, I'm definitely going to put you on game and give you the secret sauce to multiple source of income. I wish the best for you. I cannot wait to see you in the next video. I thank you for all your love. Thank you for all your kind words. And again, let's keep glowing up. Let's keep working towards becoming the best version of ourselves. And I cannot wait to see you in the next video.